Hello out there, vinyl community. My name's Edward, aka ProgHat. That's the name of my channel. Welcome everybody. I hope you're doing good. It's the middle of the week. I've had a good day today. So let me get down to what the purpose of this video that I'm making. It is a contest entry for Rod, the HappyHippy vinyl guy. He has a contest going, wants us to answer one main question that you do have to answer, and name, it's 10 questions, and name things that you would like to see or like to get, if I understand them right, music in 2023. Before I begin, I just also want to mention, congratulations, Rod. I hope your channel continues to grow and much success. I want to say thank you for your participation and you leaving comments on my videos. I greatly appreciate it, and I appreciate you participating in a few of the contests that I've done. So thank you. All right. Here we go here. Here's what I'd like for music to see or to have in 2023. Number 10. I hope I get to see King Crimson. They've come to Texas 2 times here in Austin that I can remember, and I just couldn't make it. So I'm hoping to see King Crimson, one of my favorite prog rock bands. I love Robert Fripp. Amazing guitar player. I enjoy following him on Facebook. He's a really neat guy. I'm going from about number 9. That Rush period that I love, that I really enjoy the music of that period where they went and added more synthesizers to their songs with albums like Grace Under Pressure, Power Windows, and Hold Your Fire. Not too long ago, I finally found a copy of Hold Your Fire on vinyl. But I love that period of Rush. I remember that period a lot because when those albums were coming out, I was still working in a grocery store, working hard, working to get that paycheck to buy music or stuff for my guitar or whatever. But I remember having those albums on cassette and listening to them over and over. I know I wore out those cassettes, but I used to listen to them a lot while I was working, like stocking the shelves and stuff. But I would like to see in 2023 one of those albums or a series where they either make them into 3 LP sets or 4 or 5 CD box sets, kind of like these above me, these Jethro Tull of that period of those albums where I could have some extra bonus stuff, an extra bonus show, or extra mix, another mix of the album. I would love to see that on one of those or all 3 of those albums. And that is Grace Under Pressure, Power Windows, and Hold Your Fire. Number 8, I'll tell you what, this has been on my want list. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, but the UQHR, is that what they're called? The one that I really, really would like to get is the Miles Davis one, Kinda Blue, which is one of the albums, probably the second album that was my gateway into jazz. My first was Coltrane, Blue Train, those 2 albums, but I'd love to get a copy of that. Don't know how I'm going to make that happen. It could be pricey. I don't know if it's still in print to get, but I'd love to get a UQHR Miles Davis Kinda Blue. Moving up. Right behind me is one of my favorite albums by Pete Townsend. I am a big Who fan, and I'm a big Townsend fan. This is his album, All the Best Cowboys Have Chinese Albums, which I think it's one of his magnum opus records. It's excellent. I'd like to see in 2023 a double, triple album with demos, takes, or or a CD box set of it. I would love to for that to happen. And if there was a tour that he did, I mean, I have to go look that up, but if there's anything live from that period, I would love. But that's what I'd like to see in 2023 is a deluxe edition or super deluxe, not too pricey, but somehow I could get a copy of it, of the All the Best Cowboys Have Chinese Eyes, excuse me. The next thing after that, I would love to hear a new Pete Townsend solo album. Or if he wants to break out another one of those scoop, believe he's done, I want to say there's 3, but I have to think about that. But I know there's 2, but I'd like to either see a new Pete Townsend solo album, preferably a double album, even if it's acoustic songs, whatever, but new music by Pete Townsend. Number 5, I'm a lover of classical music. And I see these really neat CD classical music box sets. And I'm talking about these real expanded ones where it looks like they have like maybe 15 CDs. I would like to have one of my favorite composer, and that's Stravinsky or more Beethoven. That would be really, really awesome. One of those 15 CD sets. I would just love that. I just love classical music. I would like to see, hopefully in 2023, Paul McCartney Wings, an archives edition of the album London Town with some live stuff on there from that period. Now, hoping that's happened. I know pretty soon Back to the Egg, unless it's been pushed back. I don't really keep up with that stuff like I used to anymore, but that's what I'd like to see, a Paul McCartney and Wings London Town Archives edition. At number 3, I would love to see Ron Carter, jazz bass player, in concert. He's touring Europe. The man is still touring. I follow him on Instagram. One of my favorite bass players. I remember when I started getting into jazz and I didn't buy, you know how Ron Carter's played with a lot of famous groups or as a bass player, but he was one of the first ones, if this makes any sense, that I went and bought his solo stuff, and I loved it. I'd like to get some of his records this year. I didn't find none at the record show, but anyway, see him live, and one of my favorite albums by him is Peg Leg. Peg Leg. I love that record. Number 2, I'm sure this is going to be pricey. I don't know yet, but I'd love to get this. I don't know how I'm going to make this happen. I don't really want to trade for it, but I'd love to get that super deluxe or deluxe, whatever they're calling it, of Kiss, Creatures of the Night, with those, what was it, 75 to 76 unreleased bonus tracks. That would be so awesome. I do want that. But if I have to settle for a 2-3 CD set, that's cool. But I'm going to figure a way how to get it because I really want that album. It's one of my favorite records. It freaking rocks. I remember as a kid growing up in a little small Texas town. Those days they didn't have very many channels on TV, but I remember when Creatures of the Night was coming out, it got a lot of TV advertisement. Seemed like it always came on, the promo about that album coming out right after the 10 o'clock news. When that news was over, a few more minutes, you just wait a little bit, and here comes the promotion of Creatures of the Night. And when I heard that song, Love It Loud, I was like, dang, they did it again. That song freaking rocks. So, now, number 1, he said that we had to, me and Rod, we had to answer this question. It's tough because it does make me emotional because These are my music heroes. But I'm going to name three that I'd like to switch one of these. I don't mean to be mean or sound one of these other artists, say like, dude, or group, pack it up. If I could get back these three artists, that'd be really, really cool. One is John Lennon. I'm sure he'd be, if he was still alive, he'd be making some really good music still, or whatever John Lennon likes to do. Two, my boy. I mean to say that because I know he's not my boy, but Eddie Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen is one of my favorite guitar players, probably all-time favorite guitar players. I would think that if he was back, I would like to see some more Van Halen albums, even another one with David Lee Roth. But eventually, I'd like to see an album where he does his own guitar pieces. You know, all solo, electric, acoustic of Eddie Van Halen. And my other one, to have Tom Petty back. Man, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, one of my favorite bands. I remember me and my sweetheart on one of our anniversaries. We went to go see him on the last DJ tour, which was so good. And it was just a great night. It was my anniversary night. And it was one of those nights where, you know, you go out. We went out for some good old-fashioned hamburgers and some drinks and fries. And then we went up to see Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers with Jackson Browne. But those are the three people that I'd like to have back in life. It's John Lennon, Eddie Van Halen, and Tom Petty. This is my contest entry. I will leave a link to Rod's channel. Folks, go sub him up. I enjoy his channel. I enjoy his content. And I encourage you to go over there and check it out. Take care. Congratulations again, Rod. And more success heading your way.